Yo. What is up, homies? All right, we got some patch notes. We have a surprise stream in the middle of the day because these patch notes just dropped, and I want to go through them and see what we're talking about here. So you should see them on my screen. And I'm gonna just read through them and we'll figure out some stuff what's going on. All right, patch notes, March 21st. Okay, more tokens. We already know that. Shop update. Cards can be acquired from the shop in 2 different sections. Choose your card, Series 3, etc. We already know this. Instead of purchasing Series 3 card with token, you get one for free each month. I already knew that. I've talked about it before. So you can save those tokens for Series 3 and Series 5. Yeah, that we can save them, aka we must save them. Thanks for wording it like that, you jackasses. All right, the token shop. Token shop now contains only Series 4, 5, and Ultimate variants. Yeah. We already know about those changes. We've talked about them before. Let's see what else we got. General updates. Seasonal drops. Okay, least exciting series drops in history. Okay, like Zabu's amazing. That one's good. Sauron going down, that's kind of cool. But like honestly, M'Baku, Orca, and Atuma, least exciting shit ever. Okay, not exciting. Audio for new cards. Like, I think that's gonna be fun. I'm excited about that. Nimrod, especially because I have him. A little bias there. New location sounds for Morag and Bar Sinister. I mean, it's all a rich tapestry. It's all very nice, very nice. But let's get to the juice. Balance updates. Now this is the important part. Unscheduled changes to Zabu and Silver Surfer. I don't know why it's unscheduled, but whatever. Metagame shifts for the last month, more difficult for us to predict. So we weren't able to make timely adjustments for technical reasons. All right. In that time, Thanos became one of the most dominant decks. Gee, you don't say. Yet his weak matchups versus Zabu and Surfer had been holding back the Mad Titan. Shuri-based decks were another big winner here, and both of these archetypes have exceeded our tolerances for game balance. Glad to know there is a tolerance for that. The patch's adjustments are aimed at restoring order and weakening them. Okay, let's see how you accomplish that. I'm very, very curious. We're continuing. Oh, hey, what up, Ben? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. I'm just going over these patch notes. Very exciting stuff. All right, we're continuing to explore updates and improvements to both our balance technology and our philosophy around scheduling changes. That is much needed, so good on you. And we look forward to sharing that with you soon. Okay, I'm sure you do. AKA you're forced to. All right, Thanos going down to 10. All right. They're just explaining that we increased Thanos' power in a previous patch built during a time when Zabu and Surfer were suppressing the success of Thanos. That makes sense. And then they're happy to keep him at 9+ power for Shang-Chi's sake, but given that his recent success, we thought it appropriate to pull back on that buff just a touch. It's not going to dramatically change anything. Everyone knows this. It's not a big deal. Okay, let's move on to something more of a big deal. Maybe I won't skip below where I'm reading. Space Stone. On reveal, next turn, you can move one card at this location, draw a card. 2, on reveal, next turn, you can move one card at this location, draw a card? What the hell's the difference? Next turn, you can move one card at this location. Next turn, you can move one card to this location. Oh, that's way different. That is way different. Okay. This is among the strongest stones in Thanos' deck due to his ability to create bonus lockjaw triggers and disguise where strong cards might move. Of course. This change reduces its efficacy with Lockjaw by removing the incentive to play Space Stone itself for a Lockjaw trigger, flattening the number of bonus trigger opportunities for Lockjaw and restricting the strategic options for late game movement. Yes, we expanded this to reduce the tactical flexibility of Thanos decks and make them more fun to play against. It's more predictable too. It's much more predictable. If they play a Space Stone on a location, you know something's going to that location, not vice versa. That nerf makes a lot of sense to me. It seems very creative, and I like to see that. It becomes Cloak. Yeah, it's Cloak. Thanos is rarely played. Yeah. The Mad Titan himself. Yeah, he's kind of played sometimes and not. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's not a big deal. But yeah, it looks like Space Stone kind of becomes Cloak for them, not for you. That's the difference between Cloak, right? Cloak is for both players. Okay, Quinjet. We saw this coming. We're not the only... people have been talking about this. Now reduces cost to a minimum of 1. So can't go to 0. I don't really like that change because I liked the ability for bounce to take advantage of that. But in the Thanos context, I wish they just started the stones in the deck instead. I think that might have been a better solution, but here we have it. Now reduces cost to a minimum of 1. Cost reduction is powerful, and Quinjet was very powerful. Yes. Energy cost to 0. We've enjoyed this interaction in some cases, such as Hood's Demon. Ultimately, it creates both an ongoing risk for future design space, I respect that, as well as fueling the dominant Thanos decks of today. This change should be a meaningful net reduction in strength to Thanos decks across the board. Thanos is getting ripped, boys. Thanos is getting ripped apart. Okay, Quinjet. Red Skull. What's going on with Red Skull? 515 ongoing enemy cards of this location have +2 power to 513. Enemy cards at this location have +1 power. Whoa, interesting. That makes it very good. Wow, so that's like a 5/9 at minimum. That's kind of a big deal, y'all. That's kind of a big deal. This change is singularly aimed at reducing the strength of combining Red Skull with Shuri and Taskmaster. Outside of those interactions, this change is mostly a buff to this base case using Red Skull. Yes, it is. Really seriously is. Giving you a 9 or 10 power at crowded locations rather than 7 or 9. That is a big buff to Red Skull. I wouldn't be surprised Red Skull shows up in a lot more decks now. Wow, I am quite surprised to see that. Very surprised. That's a big buff, and I don't think that's that much worse for the Shuri Taskmaster either. Like 26 is... it's not that much worse because even with 30, the ceiling of 30 plus 8 is 22 for Red Skull. Now it's 26. It's the same. 22 is the minimum because 13 times 2 is 26. Minus 4 on the other side is 22. So it's the same minimum for Red Skull given the location being full. So actually, I don't think that is going to do it by itself, but let's see what else they got. She-Hulk gets a little bit of a tap with the Nerf hammer. Okay. She-Hulk is a key component in the strongest Shuri decks, yes. But it sees widespread play, yes, in various decks thanks to the strength alongside Sunspot, Wave, and Moongirl, of course. We mostly think that's cool, but that she's more powerful than she needs to be for those combos. In addition, we want to encourage playing actively to locations rather than holding cards for explosive turn 6. Because you're nerfing Leech, we'll find out. So we're continuing to weaken a few of the best cards for the latter. Why was Red Skull buffed, says Ben. Well, because they were specifically targeting the Shuri Taskmaster Skull combo, not him. So they wanted to reduce that deck archetypes without hurting him too much. Why they buffed him outside, I don't know. I mean, he's going to be way more used, I think, because that's a seriously good card. That is 513 plus 1. That seems seriously good. Yeah. I don't know. I think we're going to see more Red Skull. Don't know why they buffed it. We'll see. And it doesn't seem that much worse to me in Shuri. We want to encourage. Okay, so where was I? Yes, they said that they want to encourage that. Okay, She-Hulk, tiny little nerf, not a big deal. Arrow's getting touched. Whoa. Okay, let's see. On reveal, move all enemy cards. 2, 5, 8. On reveal, move the last enemy card played this turn to this location. Wow, this is important to know for when you play against Arrow. You gotta play the card. Move the last enemy card played. So you want to play the most important cards first. Wow, this seriously changes the game. And it's funny that they say this in the last one, that they, rather than holding cards for explosive turn 6s, because what the nerf to Arrow, or the change to Arrow, does is specifically, I would say, enable more big 6-turn plays. Am I wrong on this? Because if you can't Arrow stuff as reliably on turn 6, then that opens up way more stuff with like Hazmat and blah, 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 right? So I don't know. I think that kind of goes counter to what they're saying, but we'll see. There's a lot to go through here. Wow, this is a crazy, crazy patch. Okay, Arrow's a tricky card for us. Let's read the rationale. The actual game balance for Arrow has been healthy, and she fulfills a vital role in our game by providing interaction, especially against dangerously polarizing cards like Galactus. It's important for Arrow to be versatile and strong in order to be a widely playable tech card, but we don't want her pushing the majority of other 5-cost cards. Well, she's still probably going to do that, but out of decks. Unfortunately, that's the behavior we're seeing. Arrow can be frustrating to see, denying players the option of playing their own endgames. That's what we just talked about with She-Hulk. This is explosive turn 6s, right? Are they in favor of explosive turn 6s, or are they not? It's not clear from what they're saying here. This change seeks to keep Arrow strong where she's needed, foster more competition among 5-cost cards. It will do that for sure, and add counterplay to make her more fun to play against. I like the counterplay aspect. So you play the most important cards first, and then your least important cards last. That's the takeaway, okay, when you're playing against Arrow. Mystique, Absorbing Man, and Taskmaster. Let's see what's up. These cards now require the previously played card to be in play in order to copy its attributes. I talked about this as well. I'm not surprised to see that. I think it's reasonable. Mystique, on reveal, the last card you played against has an ongoing copy its text if it's in play. Absorbing Man, same thing. Taskmaster, same thing. Okay, we understand what that means. This adjustment is part balance, part matching expectations. A meaningful chunk of Taskmaster's strength in Shuri decks is his ability to copy the card's power even if it's been destroyed by Shang-Chi or similar. An interaction that somewhat often gets reported as a bug. Interesting. Hopefully this change weakens Shuri decks. Yeah, I think it might. Slightly and more cleanly matches players' intuition when they see these cards for the first time. I think it's totally reasonable. It's pretty hard to mimic something that's dead. So, I don't know. These are subtle things when it comes to nerfing Shuri, but I think they're significant and they might add up to hurt the archetype without touching Shuri. Morbius next. Okay, I think we're done with Shuri. Let's move on to Morbius though. And then maybe we'll summarize at the end. Let's read chat for a sec. What are you saying? So you can't hide Mystique in Invisible Woman? Sure, I think you can. Oh, in play. I thought played. Yeah. So you can still do that interaction. You could still run Invisible Woman, drop your stuff on Invisible Woman, and then copy it with Mystique. Yeah, should be fine. Morbius power no longer updates in hand or in deck, only at a location. Oh. Okay. Rip our boy Morbius. We previously adjusted Morbius' power to update when he wasn't in play to... Oh, I think I know what's coming with Null too. When he wasn't in play to simplify calculating his future power. However, it was a technical cheat for them. Nice. However, this has proven a bit confusing in comparison to similar cards. Yeah, like Collector and Bishop and other stuff like that. And also unnecessary given Morbius is often played very early in the game. That's fair. And isn't very hard to calculate. True. We're reverting this change, but we expect to add future functionality to Morbius and all cards with ongoing buffs to their own power that communicates their power in order to make these cards simpler to play with. Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think it's not like... It just means you have to play him early. Or at least before MODOK, if you're playing MODOK. Okay, Null. Same thing, I'm guessing. Okay, still updates in hand, but not in deck. Okay. Okay, I don't know how... I'm going to read it, I guess, but I'm not as concerned with this. Future improvements discussed above will also apply to Null, but until we make them, he will continue to function differently relative to Devil Dinosaur and others. The reason for this is that it's very important for Null players to be able to quickly and precisely calculate his power while making endgame decisions about their 6-cost card. As a placeholder adjustment, Null will no longer update his power in your deck. So his functionality, okay, it's a placeholder, which means they are planning to change it to Morbius, but just for now, they're taking away that ability. So his functionality with Mr. Negative will be the same as his fellow ongoing cards. So, okay, that protects him from Mr. Negative. So you can run him in Mr. Negative if you're destroying things with Mr. Negative, I guess. I never thought of that. Or if you have a 2/6 Galactus. Anyway, interesting. Notably, he will use his potential power for effects like the peak location until we're able to make our desired improvements. That's a trade we've decided to accept for improving the general use cases of Null. Okay. Seems pretty reasonable. Okay, I'm just going to catch up with chat. Topper saying, what's up? Nah, Morb works the same, it just don't show in hand no more. Yeah. Oh, it just doesn't compute. Yeah. Tested it? Okay, cool. Thought early discounts while he isn't on board doesn't count. Yeah, well, I guess they do. Okay. Widow's Bite. I don't remember anyone complaining about Black Widow, but here we are. While this is in your hand, cards in your deck cannot be drawn. 2. While this is in your hand, you can't draw cards. Okay, so they're just distinguishing from your deck or elsewhere. So you can't get any cards now. So is that oh, that's a text only. It's not changing functionality, just the text. So it inaccurately describes its in-game effect. So yeah. All right, so that's just staying the same. That's good. All right, bug fixes. Let's scan this pretty quick, maybe. Cards created by Sacred Timeline no longer retain power energy alterations when copied to the player's hand. Okay. That makes sense with reproducing your original hand. Fix an issue that would cause some players who had not played for several months before updating to the latest build to see battle mode as locked. Okay. Helpful for them, I guess. Can no longer see unowned cards' abilities when toggling the artist view in the collection. Okay. Doesn't matter because people data mine stuff anyway. You can no longer click objects behind the retreat UI. No longer click objects behind the retreat UI. I guess when it's like, are you sure you want to retreat? Something like that. When inbox messages are long, characters no longer disappear. Okay. Fix another instance of Adelan VFX getting stuck on screen when it activates. Okay. End of round UI. VFX now plays in the correct order. Just scan for anything like important here. SFX now appear when collecting a card from the collector's reserve. Clicking gold credits from within the card detail view now take you to the shop. Okay. X-Mansion and Nova Roma now have text when they're featured on the carousel. Jessica Jones VFX should move her with her now. Okay, that was a noticeable one. That little purple thing. The Rafts card VFX no longer goes toward the player who did not receive the card. Okay, yeah, that is a thing. I noticed it with Vibranium and rocks and stuff go in different directions too. Fixed an issue that would cause card descriptions to disappear when focusing a card in fast upgrade. Well, who uses that anyway? I don't know. Cards that you lose their ability due to leech no longer get that ability back if they're pulled back in play by another card. Okay. Very niche, but could be important. Daredevil VFX no longer gets stuck on screen if players retreat during turn 5. That's nice, I guess. Yeah, all these are nice little things. PC collection sort, PC improved scroll, blah, blah, blah. Okay, feature talk, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now we're on to game announcements. Steampunk variant rush. Okay. Oh my goodness. That's a lot to digest. What you saying? Cool, the choose your card shows up now. Choose your card? I'm not sure which one that was. Oh, you're saying like if you update the game, you get to choose your card. Oh, I don't know if I should update my game. I wonder what happens if you don't. If you get a new card in the token shop or not, or if it's probably totally disabled. Yeah. That's really cool. All right. Maybe I'll check out the game in one sec, but I just want to digest these changes a little bit and say that it seems pretty reasonable, seems pretty in line what people were thinking. So this 611 to 610 change is very small. Obviously not going to make a big difference. The Space Stone is a big difference because it nerfs the Lockjaw interaction. And the Quinjet is also a big change, which nerfs that. So I'm very curious to see what will happen. Red Skull gets buffed pretty massively. And Arrow probably receives the most smashing here. This is going to be hard to digest. Like, what is going on with Arrow? Only moves one card. It's almost useless now, I want to say. Because the whole thing about Arrow was its reliability. You know, you don't have to think about it. You don't have to think about Arrow when you play Arrow in the past, and it just moves all the cards. But now you gotta think about it, and it's way reduced in power. I think this is a proper smashing to her abilities. Yeah. It makes her so much less reliable. I really don't know. I think the Shuri archetype survives this, but it will be nerfed. And then the Taskmaster situation. I mean, if you're properly protecting your stuff, then the Taskmaster situation is probably not that big a deal, because you want to play your big cards behind, you know, armor or Cosmo anyway. So I don't see that as huge. But the arrow thing, and they didn't touch Leech. I mean, wow. So it's a bit of a gentle tap. I think they wanted to be very careful here and just gently tap these archetypes, but Arrow didn't get gently tapped. She got whacked up beside the freaking head. And She-Hulk, I mean, 6'9", it is quite a bit lower than... I mean, it doesn't seem like that 1 point is that... but playing 6'10 versus 6'9 does feel kind of big. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. So anyway, wow. A lot to digest. Very interesting. I kind of want to see the game now. So I think I'm going to update. I'm actually going to put my spacey background on this view too. There it is. So I think it's not updated. I think I have to update it manually. But yeah, this clock is not ticking anymore. I wonder if I pressed this, what would happen? I don't even want to find out. All right. I don't even know if I can... Okay, I'm going to kill it and update it. See if I can. I have to go to my app store. I'm on Mac. Wow, it's so quiet now. Interestingly, Snap does not bring up Marvel Snap right away. Oh, this is terrifying. Wow, that's pretty interesting. So rip Arrow. Rest in peace, Arrow. That's pretty easy to play around. You play your least important card last, and your stuff does not get moved. All right, let's see how this looks anyway. Token Tuesday is the same. What the hell? Oh, here we go. Wait, so I can still... They just haven't removed this yet? Still works against Galactus. What you talking about there? What still works against Galactus? Oh, Arrow? Yeah, Arrow still works against Galactus. Yeah, I mean, that's important. But I guess this just goes away in 2 hours? I don't know. Or does this stay? We'll have to wait and see, because I thought this was not going to exist. So we have the choose your card. So I don't want... I mean, I don't want Gambit. Let's see what it says. A new Series 3 card will be available every 8 hours until a Series 3 card is claimed for the season. Okay. The collector provides no refunds. And if a claimed card is changed, there will be no compensation. Got it. All right, so it just goes through slowly. I don't think I want to get Gambit. But where's the other sections? I don't see the Series 4 section, the Ultimate Variant section. Do I have to be Series 3 complete? No, I shouldn't. I shouldn't have to be Series 3 complete for that. Maybe that shows up here in 2 hours and 29 minutes. Just have to wait and see, I guess. Is anything else different? No, I guess not. Wow. Arrow. It's 5/8. Move the last enemy card played to this location. Rest in peace. Rip Arrow. Sure, he survives. Crazy to see, guys. Crazy. All right. Well, it is what it is. We've got the changes. She-Hulk 6'9". Still good. Still pretty good. Wow. All right. Well, time will tell. That was very interesting to go through. So yeah, we'll just have to digest those changes as time goes on. Anyway, I'm going to hop off. That was fun and interesting. Take it easy. Hope you have a great day. See you in the next one.